Hi everybody, it's Mike. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm driving to Boston for the kickoff of the Reseller Road Trip with Vikki and Trish. I'll tell you about the event in a minute. But I'm excited to be driving today because in the 15 or so meetups that I have attended, this is the first one that I am driving to. And in the past I've always been envious of people who've driven to road trips because they've always had the opportunity to put as much as they could in their cars or trucks when they went sourcing. And usually at the meetups there is some garage sales and thrift stores involved, and I've always been creative in how to get as much inventory home in my suitcases or shipping stuff home. So now I don't have that restriction. I got a couple of empty boxes, and I'm going to try to grab as much stuff to bring home as possible. I checked on the garage sale apps, and there is a concentration of sales in the New Haven area, and it's about 7 o'clock now. I've timed it so that I'll be getting in that area at a good opportune time to hit about 8 or 10 sales. So I'll stop off there and see what I can get. So let me tell you a little bit about the event. It's called the Reseller Road Trip, and what happened was Vikki, who is one half of Katie and Vikki, who hosts the Boss Reseller Remix in Las Vegas, and Trish Glenn, who works for This Perfectly and is a good friend of Katie and Vikki and myself, and he's usually to be found at the Boss meetups. Had another friend, Diane Lysandra, who unfortunately passed away at the beginning of the year after a long bout with cancer. And what happened was she had an eBay store with about 2,000 listings, and then another amount of inventory, I think an equal amount that was unlisted. So Diane's family had sold the entire contents of Diane's store to Vikki, and now the task of getting everything to Vegas was before them. So she decided to fly over to Boston, rent a 30-foot U-Haul box truck, put everything in the truck, and then drive it cross-country back home to Las Vegas. Now, Vikki and Katie are great meetup organizers. In addition to the Boss Remix every year, they lead a local meetup group in Las Vegas. So they decided to make an event out of it. And what it will be a 10-city tour across the country where they will stop every couple of days and have a meetup, a little local meetup with the people from that particular meetup group. Now let me tell you a little bit about these meetup groups. eBay has a facility on their site where you just can go to sellerevents.ebay.com and you can set up your own local meetup. Now eBay sets it up for you. They will advertise it for you. They'll make notifications. They will even give you a list of local eBay sellers in the area that you can contact to join your local group. Now that's about all that eBay does. They do not set up the events for you. It's up to the individual people to do whatever they like. Typically there's a Zoom call and you can have everyone attend virtually, and sometimes they'll do actual face-to-face meetups. They'll go to lunch or they'll have an event or whatever. And there are various meetup groups throughout the country, and anyone can start one, or anyone can just go to the site and find out where there is one so they can attend an established meetup. So they employ the local meetup groups in 10 different cities, and they will be having a little informal meetup. Some are just meeting in a parking lot, some are a lunch, some are a little bit more elaborate. But the idea is that since they're going across country, they can have an opportunity to hang out with eBay resellers throughout the country. The schedule is as such. The kickoff is today, Sunday, in Boston, and then on the 6th they will be stopping it in the DC area. 7th in Pittsburgh. The 8th will be stopping off in the Akron, Ohio area. And then on the 10th they'll be stopping in Chicago. The 11th, Des Moines, Iowa. The 12th in Kansas City. The 14th in Denver. The 16th in Utah. And then the 17th, Vikki will be arriving home and have the last meetup in Las Vegas. So it's going to be a lot of fun for them, a lot of driving, but they will be stopping along the way. And my hat's off to them to be able to set up 10 meetups in the course of 19 days. And we will be following the event. If anyone wants any information or would like to stop at one of the meetups when Vikki and Trish get close to your area, Vikki and Katie have a Facebook group that tells you all about it, and you can also go to my Facebook group, and we're posting the schedule and all the details. So I will stop in New Haven and get a little coverage of the garage sales if I find something interesting, and then of course once I get to Boston I'll be filming the event. So I hope you stick around. I think it should be fun. So I just got off in Old Lyme, Connecticut. There were a couple of sales posted, so I figured I'd go check them out. Quiet little town. And this is a small little sale. I did get a couple of Lennox pieces so far for $3 each. There's one. And there's another one. I get about maybe 15 to 20 each for these. I'm just waiting for them to unwrap another section of stuff, so I'm going to go check that out. Next up is an estate sale, so let me get my tools. I always bring a flashlight because the basements can be dark, and of course the trusty IKEA bag. So easy to carry stuff out, and hopefully I fill it up. Okay, see you inside. Okay, that estate sale wasn't too bad. I spent $40 all in for this. This was a sealed power supply that I got for $10, and it comes out for about $130. And I also got some, I know, VHS. You're going to say don't buy VHS, but this was sealed, and I didn't realize that it was a half price sale, so I really wasn't going to go $1 each for these, but it was half price, so this was $2. This was an oddball. I had never heard of this. Flambards, and it just caught my attention, so I looked it up. Comes for $25 open. So, and I got this for $3. And some other assorted stuff. Saw blades that were marked $5. I get 15 for it, but at $2.50. Really has the margins. This little scanner, micro scanner, I'll have to see if that works. But I think I spent $1 for that. And then these John Deere trucks that, again, was marked $14 for both pieces. And it was kind of marginal. But actually I spent $7. I get about $35 for that. And then some new stuff. And that was the haul. All right, I think it's time to get up to Boston. It's about 10:30. I have another hour or so on my trek to meet the gals. All right, see you up there. So I'm at the location of the meetup, the Adria Restaurant and Banquet Facility. And I don't see the big truck yet. So I guess Vikki and Trish aren't here. Although I don't know if they're bringing the truck. We'll see. All right, I'm a little early. Let's go inside. So this is the restaurant. Very nice. I think they're in the back. Yep, starting to see some familiar faces. And here it is. Welcome to our community. Go check it out.
Okay.
Hello. It's a little swag table represented by eBay. Name tags?
Name tags?
Yep, I'll take one, please.
Okay. Is your name already out here?
My name is Mike.
I did not do a mic yet.
Okay.
There could be a mic in here. Or we could just have you make your own.
I'll make my own. Sure,
Okay,
I
we'll
can do that.
We'll do that.
All right, let me make my name tag. We'll take a break.
So the Chicago meetup is from a defunct area. So they had a huge meetup pre-COVID and then they let it go.
Didn't those,
And they
was it Bubble Fast?
Yep. They
Okay,
were part
all
of
right.
it. Yep. Bubble Fast and the people that did Econ. Can I have your phone? Yes. I don't know where it is.
You're ready, you need this day off.
I already gave it to you. Are they funny? Yeah. It's like we're rock stars. We're going on, like we're Van Halen going on tour.
Really
Not quite,
really
but,
should
you know.
journal it or add to Facebook everything.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
You'll tell, and then you'll forget them 3 months from now.
So between YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, we're gonna be filming a lot of stuff and doing a lot of like silly things and capturing. I mean, I've driven across the country before, so does she. We've never done it. I've never done it with a friend. I've never done it like for fun.
Right, for fun.
I've done it to move.
Right.
So
The bingo thing, the games,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, I moved from West Warwick to Vegas.
Straight to Vegas.
West Warwick.
West Warwick.
As my husband says, Warwick.
Warwick.
West Warwick Wizard.
He worked at Care New England for years, and he still does through a vent. He's a third party now, but he works from home. But he just had to go to West Warwick every day.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. It's okay.
have a lovely shot of myself right there for what you got. We are going to start a presentation, and you're probably going to, right, bring this changing subject.
So, just so that you know what's going on, they're setting up the Zoom call. Now, this is a hybrid meeting where they have some people at home joining by Zoom and a group of us that are actually here in person.
Wants to pay attention to me for a minute.
Here's the boss.
I would like to thank everybody for coming. Today is the... I feel like I should stand up and go like this.
You should. Basically, it's Trish's chest on camera.
Yeah. No, look. Okay.
Back
Hello,
up a little,
everybody. My name is Trish Glenn. I think everybody in this room knows that. I am the leader of this chapter along with Denise. Stand up, Miss Denise. Denise and I run this. As most of you know, if not all of you know, that this was Diane Lasson's chapter, and I helped to run it for the last few years, and unfortunately she died just recently. So, okay, that's all I can say about that. And so we are going to take it over. Diane wanted it to continue, and so it is going to continue, and Denise and I are going to do it. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was that when Diane died, we had talked about what would happen with all of her things. And Rick called me a couple of months afterwards, Rick, her husband, called me a couple of months afterwards and asked me what we were going to do with her stuff.
Hi, Rick.
That guy right there. Delivery. That was great. And I said, I don't know. And he said, well, you sell clothes. And I said, I have a job. I can't sell this stuff. I have a full-time job for a list perfectly. I can't sell this. And he said, okay. And I said, give me a couple days to think about it. And I called Miss Victoria Egan Silverberg and said, hey, I have an idea. I think you should buy Diane's inventory. And she goes,
And I say next. I'm just going to interject and say next time Trish says I have an idea, I'm going to think a little bit harder before I say okay.
Wait, I remember you asking me if she could buy the house and I could stay there.
yeah, that part is still happening, Rick. She just doesn't know yet. So I said Wait a minute. I said to her, I think you should take Diane's inventory, and she said, great, how the hell am I going to get it there? And I said, we'll drive it. And she goes, huh? I said, I'll go with you. We'll rent a truck. She said, okay. I mean, she did immediately, okay, no hesitation, no nothing.
No, road trip with one of my best friends, why not?
But that turned into this. So Trish, in her infinite wisdom, decided that it would be a great idea if Vikki and Trish went and did meetups across the country, because I thought that sounded like a great idea.
Because she thinks we're Van Halen.
Yeah, we're on tour.
We're going on
You're
tour.
not?
Exactly. So Vic said, I don't know about this, and I said, it'll be great. And so Vikki was like, okay, a couple of stops. 10 stops later, I mean, really, you guys, Vikki must
It
like
really
me.
did start with a couple of stops.
I know.
It was, we'll take a couple of extra days. We'll go see our friends in Ohio. We'll stop in Colorado. No.
No, now it's 10 stops, and she's gonna love me by the end, or we'll get divorced. It's one of the two. But I think it's gonna be great. So New England is our first stop, and I'm glad. Yay! I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much. And this is the first time that I'm doing a hybrid event, so please excuse the
Interruptions.
choppiness. I will get better at this, I promise. We should probably leave the phone there because it's a hot spot just in case. I will get better at this, I promise, as we go along. Is that blurry, or do I need new glasses?
I mean, it's a little blurry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So now we have a little presentation, and let's see if I can show everybody at the same time. Share screen. Share.
Wow, look at you.
Hey now.
Except it's real
I'm-
crooked up there.
I
but
know.
that's good.
I'm working on it. There we go. Okay. So, Diane always wanted to have a topic. Diane didn't like it if we just came here and kibitzed. She wanted you all to learn something and to know something. So, we're going to just have a quick little presentation about identifying reliable wholesale suppliers for your reselling business. Doesn't that make you all happy?
Yeah.
That's somebody's phone down there.
Yeah, I think it's mine. I'm not
Oh,
going from the
okay,
camera.
okay. So, here's Vikki and I going across. Those are all the places we're going. Just so I have back on the side of a truck. It was a little too expensive. We're supposed to have t-shirts. Those have not come in yet. But we have stickers, and anybody here who'd like them, we will send them out to you. So make sure everybody gets a sticker. Okay, and this is what I think is going to happen to me. This is just so you all, in case anything happens, Vikki has killed me, but we all know why. I kind of deserved it. All right, so we're going to talk
There's the
about
sticker.
identifying reliable wholesale suppliers for eBay. So, importance of reliable sourcing, consistent supply of quality products. You want to ensure good customer ratings and customer satisfaction. Evaluating wholesale suppliers, access to products, quality, pricing, and reliability.
It's easy for you to say.
Before committing. So let me ask a question. Anybody here buying wholesale now in this room? The Nellis auction near you, I would absolutely say check it out. It is pickup only, but I have people in my mastermind group who get crazy great things there all of the time. Me. It's nowhere near us, but so
Shop there.
yeah, Instagram, same thing. The List Perfectly ones also. So this whole thing is sponsored by List Perfectly and eBay. So thank them both very much. They're gonna have to deal with us for the next 2 weeks. And we'd love you to follow along, and thank you very much. And hopefully we will both survive. So thank you all very much. And now we're gonna eat. I think. So I hope that was, let me see if I can stop sharing. I hope that was halfway okay, guys. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Bye. I hope you guys have fun. Good. Thank you guys. You guys have a fun night. I'm going to hang up on you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You guys can stay and talk to each other. Say goodbye, Claire.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you.
They don't get any food.
So, we just had the raffle, and guess what? I won. I never win anything. Look at that. Nice eBay embroidered bag. I'll do an unboxing when I get back to the hotel later. But some nice loot.
I think it's
Yeah.
those were
They're still drawing.
They're
still drawing.
Everybody gets online. Nobody cuts.
Tickets? All right, congratulations.
Even the ones around here are
Very
okay.
good.
Are they okay?
Like, I went into one, it was.
And then take anything you want down there, please. 8666.
That's me.
And the guy was like, it's okay.
You want something down there? Okay. 8475.
Were you there when it first started, or?
Whoa, mother, go ahead.
Yeah, mom won.
But there was.
Trish's mom won.
Down strategies, business growth, community influence. So if you all wouldn't mind just answering one question, eBay is gonna take these at the end of the roadshow and kind of like smooch them together into some kind of.
Common denominator.
Well, and I also think we might end up on eBay socials.
They're gonna do some content with you.
They're gonna do some content. So if you wouldn't mind telling me your name, your eBay ID, and then maybe how long you've been selling, and then we'll do a question. If everybody doesn't mind doing that before they leave, I would be really appreciative.
Well, since you asked so nice.
I was, yeah.
Since you put it that way.
For now I do. Now it might not be there.
What if they ask you a question that you don't really want to answer?
And so another meetup comes to an end. That's the only problem with these darn meetups, they end. That's the only problem I can see. It was a short one, but it was nice. And Trish and Vicki are on their way. However, we are good at extending meetups, and they invited me to breakfast tomorrow morning. So I get a chance to hang out with them a little bit tomorrow before I head home, before they head on their trek cross country. So I'll see if I can get a little filming done tomorrow. And a little bon voyage. Nice place. It's a nice restaurant. All right, see you tomorrow. So this was what was in that tote that I won at the raffle. A whole bunch of eBay swag. Let's take a look. I tell you one thing. Out of all of the tote bags that I've collected throughout the years, and there are many of them, this eBay tote is really sweet. Corduroy. Nice embroidery. Really nice bag. And let's see, we got a couple of travel cups, an eBay cup, glass cup. This little guy is handy. I'll definitely be able to put that to use. An eBay tape measure. How about those glasses? Can't wait for the summertime to wear those. A little travel label. Put that to use. This was cool. This is another tote, but what it does is it folds into this small little guy. So that's cool. This brings to mind an important point about I was telling you earlier about the eBay seller groups, where eBay does offer a little bit of support in kind of setting it up for you and blasting it out when you have an event. One thing, an additional that they do that they're good at, is that they will provide swag for your events. Like Vicki and Trish got all this stuff, and there was tons of it for the for this meetup. And I've seen at other meetups, where they also give some other stuff, some good stuff too. I've gotten scales and ring lights and all kinds of good, handy, useful stuff from them. And also, Vicki was telling me that eBay and List Perfectly as well financed their trip. They were paying, some of the expenses, so that it really wasn't going to be that expensive for them to travel cross country. So if you do decide to set up a local seller group, keep in mind that all you have to do is make a request from eBay, and they'll send you some of this stuff, for your meetings and for your events. So I'm at the Sunnyside Diner, where I will be meeting Trish and Vicki shortly for breakfast. Right now, I believe Trish is recording her List Perfectly Mastermind video, which I think she does every day at 9:30 Eastern for the List Perfectly patrons. and so they should be here shortly. Also, by the way, Vikki told me that they will be doing daily content, or not daily content, maybe, but certainly content when they have the rest of the 10 meetups. So look forward to that. It will be posted on the Katie and Vikki channel, and also I will be referencing it on my channel if you're interested in following the escapades and all the fun that the ladies are going to have. I wish I was going with them. You know, it was suggested by John from Flipping It Easy that I'm the meetup guy, and what am I doing? I should be following them for all 10 stops, but I just don't have the time at this point. But maybe next time. Keep it in mind. It looks like the big truck has arrived, which can mean only one thing. Vikki and Trish are here. Let me go check that truck out. So there's the big truck. And there they are, the intrepid travelers. Let me go check this rig out.
It's a little bit janky.
A little janky.
Not gonna lie, it's a little janky.
That's all right, fits everything in.
We made it.
You made it, right? Oh, cool. All right.
Uh-oh, don't kill the battery already.
It would have looked nicer with your faces on the side, for sure.
It would have. You know what we realized? We have some magnets and it doesn't stick.
Oh, that doesn't together.
So it wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have worked. That he would have said
We would have
wasted like
ordered
$400.
something for nothing, yeah.
All right, let's check this out. Go budget. I won't make you go through the trouble of opening it up and checking the insides, but we'll just assume it's full.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay, sounds good.
What do you want? Picture of the back? Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. I'll include it in the video. So I'm here with Trish and Vikki, who are about to embark on an epic 10-city meetup trek across the country. And usually what I do in my treatment of the meetups is I have like an introductory video where I interview the organizer whenever. I didn't have a chance to do that this time, so I guess now's as good a time as any. So my question, ladies, what were you thinking? Tell us all
What
about
were
it.
we thinking?
Well, initially we were thinking of, you know, how are we going to get from point A to point B? For those of you that don't know, our friend Diane Lassonde had passed away earlier this year, and her family, she was a reseller, and her family wanted to get her inventory and get out of the house and get, you know, the house back, as, you know, the inventory had spread, as we all know how that happens. And I live in Nevada, and Diane lives just outside of Boston in Massachusetts, and it was not very feasible to ship this much inventory. So Trish says,
I said, I think you should do this. I think it's a good idea. And then I said, well, I'll drive it. We'll drive it. And she said, together? And I said, yeah. She said, okay, I've done that before, because she moved from Rhode Island to Las Vegas. She said, well, no problem, we'll drive. And I said, okay. And then I said to her, well, if you're coming, we should have a meetup. I have a meetup here. I said, we'll have a meetup. She said, okay. And then I said, well, we're going to drive. We might as well have a few meetups along the way.
which I thought a few or a couple, I thought meant two. I said, we'll stop in Ohio and see our friends. We'll do their meetup there. We'll stop in you know, in Colorado and see our friends on the way. You know, on the way. And then states that we physically had to go through.
And then I said, I called her and I said, all right, I've mapped it out. We're doing 10.
And I went, what? 10 meetups in 3,200 miles in 13 days.
So it's
I
going
said,
to be
"You're crazy."
fun. And she said to me, really? And I said, yes. And she goes, okay. She didn't really give me much pushback. You
didn't.
may have in your head, but you
I
didn't
really
really
didn't.
give me much pushback.
I agreed pretty easily, I have
You
to say.
did. So we leave today. We had our first meetup last night. Mike came. It was great. It was a kickoff party here in right outside of Boston.
Because we think we're going on tour. We think we're rock stars.
You are.
Rock
So,
stars.
You are, absolutely.
You know, it's a 10-city tour in 13 days.
And so we're leaving today, and we're going to have our first official meetup tomorrow in Silver Springs, Maryland. And we're doing, some of these are going to be hybrid. So if you are, if you see this, go on to eBay, sellerevents.ebay.com under the road show, and you can road trip.
Reseller Road Trip.
Reseller Road
If you
Trip.
look at the photos,
all of the meetups will have this little photo attached to it.
That's the cutest little sticker I've ever seen.
And we're gonna have some hybrid events so you guys can watch along if you're interested.
And they're all free. They're all free
All
to
free.
attend. This is just there'll be some teaching, there'll be some thrifting, depending on the location. Everything's listed there. A couple of them might just be us hanging out and having dinner together and talking shop.
So I'm meeting in the parking lot, maybe. Right?
Maybe, exactly. We're open. We're parking lot girls.
For sure. I don't know what I just agreed to, but yeah.
And from what I understand, you're going to do some content at all of the meetups and kind of like push that out?
Absolutely. Every day we'll have content. eBay and List Perfectly sponsored us. So we are going to be doing probably...
Whether they're going to regret this or not at the end, who knows? I'm just kidding. They're not going to regret it.
But we'll have a lot of content along the way.
Yeah.
So some just fun, some shenanigans, and some, actual reselling content. We want to be helpful. We want everyone's business to be as good and as, healthy as it can be. So we'll
Account health.
account health.
And we are trying to help build some existing meetups and help create a couple of meetups in areas where there needs to be one where there isn't an official eBay meetup. So that's part of it. We want to encourage people not just to attend meetups, but if there's something you want to do on your own, we want to show you that it's easy to do and that you can make it happen. So we're not obviously going to be running any of these meetups we create. After we leave, we're going to be handing off to someone.
But we belong. We're both meetup leaders, and eBay itself has a meeting every month that you can go to, and they talk about strategies and stuff. And then I run a List Perfectly meetup leaders meeting every month also, and we'll help with decks and to give you things. So I think Vikki and I both see a lot of potential and a lot of value.
A lot of value
meetups.
in community. There's a lot of value in community, which obviously Mike already knows that. It's not just about us learning from each other and teaching each other things. Everyone brings something to the table, but it's also about networking and creating community and friendships and things like just the three of us sitting at this table. These friendships have all been made because of reselling. And meeting and meetups.
And also, I think that if you're brand new to this, there's so much to learn that it's great to know you have somebody to call and be like, how the hell do I ship this? Or where do I go? Or do I need a confirmation signature? Or
Do I need to call eBay for every little thing?
No, you do not. It's okay if you get a negative, leave it alone. Don't spend 4 hours trying to get a negative fixed. Leave it.
Don't spend
more.
4 hours researching anything.
List. So all the things that we struggle with at the beginning,
Yeah. Hold on. All right, ladies. Well, thank you very much. And I wanted to really commend you. I mean, being in the meetup guy, and I was speaking to them earlier, I really wish I could attend all 10 with them. It's just not practical.
You wanted to just tow your truck behind us, tow your car behind us.
That's all.
Sleep in it.
I'm good company, yeah.
You are good company, it's true.
And again, thank you very much, and we'll see you on the road.
See you on the road.
Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye. So the wrap-up for the video, or the epilogue, I might say, is that sometimes I guess maybe driving to a meetup is not necessarily without issues. The car just crapped out on the way, but I got a really nice driver to pick me up and get me home. Everything will be good. And the funny thing is shortly after I pulled off to the side of the road, I get this call from Vikki and Trish saying that they had seen me pull off to the side and they were willing to stop their trip and come to my assistance, which was so heartwarming to me. I mean, basically this is what we do. And this is why I love this community and would be willing to support whoever I can, because everyone is willing to support me. So I'll get home maybe an hour later than I expected, but it's all good. All right, thanks for stopping in and viewing the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.